Coming up on Colonial Sports Center, men's hockey tries to get back on track after a 3-game losing streak. They're going to take on the Holy Cross Crusaders.
And the women's hockey team traveled to Lindenwood to play against the Lions.
All that and more coming up on Colonial Sports Center. Welcome to Colonial Sports Center. Now, I know I'm not Greg Sutton. I'm Sam Anthony, replacing Greg Sutton today. And again, joined here by David Szymanski, here for a great show for you guys tonight.
It's great to be joined by you, Sam. And on tonight's show, we're going to get to see the women's volleyball team take on St. Francis in the new rec center. Now, this match is going to come down to the wire. One of the best volleyball games you could ask for. You're going to have to stay tuned to see if the Colonials were able to pull that one out.
And even better, we have women's hockey. They're going to finally end that 10-game road trip here. They're going to finish up against Lindenwood. We actually get to sit down. Our very own Shayla Morris talks with Colonials goalkeeper Elijah Milne-Price.
But before we get into the women's hockey and the volleyball, let's jump right into men's hockey, who had some big games this past weekend.
That's right. And the men's hockey team, they stumbled to a 2-5-0 start through their first 7 games this season, including a 3-game losing streak that they're currently on. But right now, strong performances from Luke Lynch. We're going to hop to the ice and see what the Colonials can do if they can end that losing streak here. And it's going to start off here with the goal from Brady Ferguson. Brady Ferguson struggled so far this season, only about a goal per game when he was averaging 2 last season. But the Holy Cross Crusaders, they're going to come right back and respond here. This time it's going to be Michael Lappin on the weak side of Murat coming across here. Holy Cross, the attack is not going to stop here. Their offense, 15th in the nation this season, 3.25 goals per game, while the Colonials defense is one of the worst in the country, ranked 43rd here. And they're going to continue that scoring onslaught here, making it 3-1. But Robert Morris, they're going to try and climb back. And look at this pass here from Luke Lynch. Really phenomenal pass. And this Dorowitz, Lynch, and Graham line, 22 points. And look at the pass again. Right there, perfect pass. Nothing the goaltender can do to save that one. We're going to go to the third period here where Alex Robert is going to get his first career NCAA goal. Very exciting for the young man right there. But with 2 minutes left, it's going to be Holy Cross that ties this one up. They're going to get that one right by Murat. And once again, Robert Morris, they're going to fall tie 5-5 with Holy Cross here. And ultimately, they failed to end that 3-game winless streak. And the Colonials ended up scoring from 5 different players. The team's best offensive showing of the season. Luke Lynch scored his 6th goal in 8 games so far for Robert Morris.
Colonial and Crusader fans had to be excited for the second game of this 2-game series. A win for the Colonials would mean finally ending their winless streak through the last 4 games. To the Island Sports Center, we head where the fans packed in to cheer on the hockey team. And right here, early in the first, Colonials trying to build some momentum, and Spencer Dorowitz is going to come around the net and put the Colonials up 1-0 right there. And we're going to get to see it one more time from right behind the net. What a great view that is. And here, the Crusaders are trying to tie things up, but what a save by Francis Merete right there with his left leg. And right there, the Colonials then are going to get their second goal of the game to go up 2-0 early in the game. This early lead would stay with them as going into the third period, the Crusaders were still scoreless thanks to Francis Murat. And right here, we're going to get to see a play up as Matthew Graham hits the ice and Luke Lynch finds the back of the net, putting them up 3-0. That play is going to be broken down a little bit later in the show, a little more in-depthly. You guys will have to stay tuned for that. So Robert Morris came away with the win at home. The early lead allowed them to be in control the entire game, and Luke Lynch scored the third and final goal late in the game to give the Colonials the big win. Francis Murat also had his first shutout of the season, stopping 27 shots from Holy Cross. This game ended the team's winless streak, and Sam and Mike Shuley will be breaking down what has been happening on the ice this past season and a few of those plays we just saw.
You heard it from David, folks. It was an exhilarating weekend of Robert Morris men's hockey where we saw a little bit of everything. So we decided we had to bring in the expert to break it all down. Now, we couldn't get Coach Schooley, so we decided to bring in our own Coach Shuley to break it all down. Mike, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Sam, and let's just jump straight into the breakdown. All right, our first play here is going to start with Spencer Dorowitz. As you can see here, Dorowitz keeps the puck in the zone and then feeds it back down to the corner. Next thing you know, you're going to see Matthew Graham out-hustle his man to the puck, gets it in the corner, and then finds Michael Luria, whose beautiful backhand pass finds Dorwitz, who holds onto it and buries it in the back of the net. One more look at this pass, and Dorwitz putting the Colonials up 1-0. Now, I talked to Francis Murat after the game. He said he needed to make a clutch save, and none bigger than this one here on the penalty kill, sliding across crease to make a left pad save to keep the Colonials up by 1. And our final clip here is going to be with Luke Lynch. As you can see here, Luke bats the puck down in the ice, bullies his man off the puck, and then boxes him out and makes a pass that finds Spencer Dorwitz. Dorwitz then finds Matthew Graham with the puck, and then Graham falling to the ice sends a backhand pass that finds the tape of Luke Lynch, who puts it in the back of the net to put the Colonials up by 3. As you can see here, one more look at this pass from Graham and the goal by Luke Lynch.
And Mike, thank you so much for breaking that down for us. You saw that there, an explosive line right now from Dorwitz, Lynch, and Matthew Graham. They have 22 points combined this season, a lot of scoring there. Luke Lynch, one of the leading scorers in the NCAA right now, so we're going to look for him to get a lot more action as the season goes on. His brother, Zach Lynch, currently playing in the ECHL for the Manchester Monarchs. He's been playing great. He's an all-time great here at Robert Morris. And Mike, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Sam.
And we are going to send it to David. He's going to give us all the news with what's going on with volleyball right now. David, it was an exciting match, wasn't it?
It certainly was. You know, conference play has nearly concluded with just 2 more contests after this one. NEC play began for the Colonials against St. Francis, and their last game of the 2-game series was last Friday. If you enjoyed thrillers, you are going to enjoy how this match unfolded at the new rec center this past Friday. To the court we go, and you're going to see RMU up 24-11 here. It doesn't look like a close match, but I promise you it's going to turn into that, as the Colonials right here are going to get a great block to end that 24-11. But now we're going to go into the second set when St. Francis begins to make their comeback. And right there, that was almost a block, but it went through, giving St. Francis that second set. And here St. Francis, Sam, has another lead, 24-16, and they're going to win that set as well.
And St. Francis was absolutely dominant through the second and third set through this one.
And here we get RMU trying to come back, win at home, and they're going to get that point with a little bit of a misdirection. Here we go into the 5th set, the extra point. This is game point for the Colonials. They're going to set it up, and the Colonials are going to get to that. And a good set here. And here comes the big spike. And the point's still going on. This is for the match. And the Colonials keep it in. One more. And that spike is going to end that. 5 sets and an extra point. This match was as close as a match can be, going all 5 sets with 1 extra point. Leading the Colonials to victory was Emma Granger with 14 kills, 6 saves, and 4 blocks. Assisting her most of the night was Brianna Frakes, who had 42 assists to oust St. Francis in a barn burner. With 2 games left in conference play, let's take a look at the standings.
And David, if you take a look at the standings here, that win was huge for Robert Morris, because not only does it give them the 2-game lead over St. Francis, it gives them that tiebreaker with the 2 wins. So even if St. Francis came back and won those last 2 games, Robert Morris lost their last 2, it doesn't matter. That is the Colonials' spot to lose here. Now, it's just a battle for seeding. The Colonials can go as high as the 2nd seed, which would give them the opportunity to potentially host a playoff game. Very exciting.
That would be huge, and that shows just how big that game was in that last point for the Colonials.
And we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk football. David's going to show us a little bit of women's hockey here. Lots of exciting things coming on in Colonial Sports Center, so you're not going to want to miss it.
We'll see you right around the break.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Oh, emojis! I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you. She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze. Help up the hand. Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Jane!
Tonight, along the Texas Gulf Coast, utter devastation. Harvey barreled ashore overnight, packing 130-mile-an-hour winds, blinding sheets of rain, and a treacherous storm surge.
Harvey can't mess with Texas. So donate now to help make Texas whole again.
Switcher crashed.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center, and it's been a tumultuous season for the Robert Morris offense for the football team. The team currently ranks 122nd out of 123 in total offense, 122nd out of 123 in scoring average, only 9 points per game here, and they're 90th in the red zone offense. And with those numbers, Coach Banaszak decided it was time for a change. It was quarterback turned wide receiver turned quarterback once again, Matt Barr, earning his first start of the season for good old Bobby Moe. And you're going to see right here, he's going to send this underpass to Timmy Vecchio for the 27-yard run up the sideline. He finishes 4 receptions, 51 yards. That's going to lead for the Colonials here. You see him down 13-0 early here. Offense, big plays here. You're going to see another one from fullback Jonathan Wana. He stumbles, but he's going to keep going here for the 24-yard gain. That's going to be his only reception. But again, Robert Morris, 2 of their 4 biggest offensive plays in the first half, but no scoring here. And you're going to see the defense here get a little action. They're 25th in the nation. You're going to see Tyler Lamica. That's one of 3 sacks on the day for the Colonials. While Wagner had 8, Matt Barr was getting attacked all day. And Harrison Dreher continued his strong season. 59 yards on the day for him, 37 coming on that run here. But ultimately, Robert Morris, not a lot going offensively here. You're going to see Price with the tackle for loss here on, that's going to be Hugh Freese. Ryan Fultz, he had 152 yards rushing here, and who knew that the Seahawks could attack from the sky and the ground? It was Wagner's ground attack that left the Colonials looking for answers, as Ryan Fultz and Denzel Knight combined for 227 rushing yards en route to their 27-7 victory over the Colonials. It was the same story, different week for the Colonials, as once again their offense failed to reach double digits. That makes their 5th game this season with under 10 points, while Robert Morris has only racked up 1 game this season where they've scored more than 14. David, that's an alarming statistic if you're an offensive coordinator.
It certainly is. And jumping over to women's hockey, last weekend the team traveled to Penn State to tie 2 games. Well, it had to be difficult to not have closure on either games that past weekend. This last weekend, the team had another road trip to Lindenwood to try to get into the win column. So here we go. In this first period, Sam, they're going to be held scoreless. I don't know if it was the bus ride over there or what, but that first period, they weren't able to find the back of the net. But here in the second, they are going to get things going.
Oh, and they get it going fast here, David.
They do, and we got to see them earlier in the season win a game 11-0. And this is another one of those where they start to find the back of the net, and there's no stopping them. They're up 3-0 here, and this 4th goal of the game was scored by Sarah LeCavalier. And they're going to end up winning this game 6-0, Sam. They just couldn't be stopped once they got going.
That's right, David. You know what? Once again, that offense is one of the best in the nation, led by Brittany Howard. She's 6th in the nation in points, and they just can't be stopped right now. They prove why they're a top 10 team week in, week out.
And she didn't even score on this night, and the Colonials were able to put up 6 goals. Just shows how deep their offense really is. 6 different Colonials scored goals, showing just how talented this roster is. The difference in the contest may have been the amount of time the Colonials were able to spend on the power play. They spent nearly 12 minutes, and that led to 3 power play goals. Now to Sam to wrap up this road trip for the women's team.
That's right, David. The Colonials at last saw the end of their odyssey, which was the 10-game road trip to start the season. That's 5 straight weeks on the road. They're the only team in women's college hockey who have yet to play a home game. But still, Brittany Howard and company carry a 6-1-2 record and a number 9 ranking into this matchup here. And we're going to start here. Great puck movement here by the Colonials, and you're going to see number 5 on the top left, Emily Curlett, start it with, she's going to light the lamp here with a snipe to open the game, make it 1-0 for the Colonials here. And they're going to keep it going here. Brittany Howard, you just can't stop her for long. You're right, they limited her in that first game, but she comes back here, gets that second goal. But Lindenwood, start down early. It's looking like it's going to be 6-0. They come back here. You're not going to keep them out here. And you're going to see the spin move here, the pass, and it's going to be sent in by Alt for Lindenwood. That's going to be the first of 2. They're going to tie this one up, and they're going to be on the power play. But watch this. Robert Morris, they're the best team in the nation when it comes to shorthanded goals. First in the nation. The next team has half of the shorthanded goals here. Amanda Pantaleo, Pants, is going to send that one in, give the Colonials the 3-2 lead. And from there, they're just not going to look back. GC Gebhardt sends in the empty netter and sends the Colonials home with a 7-1-2 record to end the 10-game road trip. They're going to end this road trip with 7 wins, including this 4-2 win in this one. Brittany Howard continued her blazing hot start to the season with her 10th goal of the season, while freshman Lexi Templeman getting in the mix with 2 assists of her own. Her weekend performance would earn her CHA Rookie of the Week as the Colonials continue to dominate.
The men's soccer team traveled to Loretto, Pennsylvania to battle for seeding in the NEC tournament against St. Francis. Having won their last 2 contests, they had some momentum brewing. Could they keep it going on the road? Here we go. Men's soccer team on the road playing the Red Flash. Right here, they're going to get on the board early. Bailey Winkle, who we've seen in highlights every single time this season, is going to put them on the board. One of the best offensive players in the NEC. But they're going to go up 1-0. St. Francis comes back, ties it up at 1 goal apiece. And the Colonials haven't scored more than a goal in their last 7 contests. So could they get the second goal here? They didn't there. Winter Fondy with the great save. St. Francis goes up 2-1. Robert Morris is going to have to do something they haven't done in a while if they want to win this game. Winter Fondy doing his best to keep them in the game, especially right here on the penalty kick. He gets the save, but the rebound goes to St. Francis, and they find the back of the net to put themselves up 3-1. Winter Fondy doing all that he can, but when you don't have the offensive production, it's tough to win games. And it was a difficult loss for the men's soccer team as they were outscored 4-1. Like I said previously, in their last 7 games, they have had just 6 goals. Bailey Winkle scored the sole goal in this game. However, this loss is now in the rearview mirror for the team, and Sam is joined by Logan Carney to discuss the playoff picture for the soccer team.
And you heard it there first. We're here to talk Robert Morris men's soccer playoffs. I'm joined by Logan Carney. Logan, thanks so much for coming in today.
Of course, thank you. It's great being here.
So we're going to talk some men's soccer playoffs. They actually play tomorrow at St. Francis, Brooklyn, the number 1 seed. Robert Morris looking to upset here, 2 p.m. You're not going to want to miss it. So let's talk about the season as a whole. The team started off winless in their first 9 games. What was really going wrong for them?
You know, I said it early in the year when you guys had me on here in Sports Talk, too, both the show that we're on, and you know, it was just simple bad luck from when I looked at it. You know, a lot of 1-loss games. They lost in double overtime. They lost in overtime, and every single loss except for that Cleveland State game when they started winless was by a goal. It looked like pure bad luck. I mean, obviously there could have been a lot more factors into it, but from what it looked like down here, just looking at the scores right now, just pure bad luck is all I can explain it, because they've really have done a lot better since then once conference play started.
Yeah. And you're right, and since then you've really seen them turn around. Bailey Winkle, one of the leading goal scorers in the nation. Winter Fondy, phenomenal, 1.68 goals allowed average. Now, for them to beat the Terriers, who's going to have to step up beyond Fondy and Winkle?
I mean, you're going to need the whole team to step up. The Terriers don't give up goals. They don't. They have a great defense. They've only 2 teams have scored on them in the conference. Robert Morris and I believe it's the other St. Francis. The only 2 teams that scored on them in conference, if I look at it correctly. But they're going to have to. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Robert Morris hasn't been scoring a lot of goals lately. They're going to need the whole team to step up. You know, Bailey Winkle can't do it all on the offense.
And Logan, thank you so much for coming in. We're going to have to see this weekend what happens with the Colonials. Can they claim NEC glory? We're going to go to break, but when we come back, our very own Shayla Morris is going to sit down with Robert Morris goaltender Elijah Milne-Price, and I can't wait for that conversation, so keep watching Colonial Sports Center.
Want to help in the aftermath of a hurricane? Together, you and I can really help. I am fast and versatile. I can be whatever is needed. To help you provide important relief, when it's most critical. If you want to lend a hand, I can help you reach out and truly touch lives. Even a small donation can make a big difference.
On November 3rd in Hopwood Auditorium, Robert Morris University, join me, Don Luisi, for Bringing the Blues to RMU. This is a live event featuring Pittsburgh's Queen of the Blues, Jill West, and Blues Attack. Along with a screening of Blues Chronicles from the Burgh, 3 short documentary profiles of Pittsburgh Blues legends Eugene Morgan, Bill Weiner, and Jill West. This tribute to the blues is sponsored by the Blues Society of Western Pennsylvania, the Academic Media Center, and RMU Radio. That's Bringing the Blues to RMU. Friday, November 3rd at 5 p.m., Hopwood Auditorium, Robert Morris University. Admission is free to the public.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Hi, and welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. I'm Shayla Morris, and sitting down with me is Elijah Milan Price from the women's hockey team. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
So, this is the first home game that you're going to be playing after a 10-game streak. And what's that going to be like for you guys?
It's really nice. I mean, we've been traveling, not just road games, but I mean, we've gone coast to coast. We've been all the way from Minnesota to Maine, so we're excited to be back at the island and have our family and friends there and hopefully get 4 points this weekend.
And what is it like for you being this your senior season, coming in and playing your first home game and just really having an all-around great season this year?
Yeah, it's crazy. It goes by quick, cliche, but really does, yeah. We got a good group this year, and we're excited to prove some people wrong, hopefully surprise some people, and do our best.
And what are you looking really forward to accomplishing this weekend with your 2 games against RIT?
I mean, we'll take it one game at a time, but hopefully come out with 4 points. I know they're coming off a big win with BU and overtime with that penalty shot, so we just want to slow down any momentum they have and hopefully get 2 points tomorrow.
Do you think this is going to be the real test for your team this year, playing RIT, or do you think there's someone else in the future that you need to watch out for?
I mean, every next game's a big game, so Friday's our biggest game of the season because it's the next one, so that's how we try and look at it.
Is there anything in specific that you're looking to really work on for this Friday's game?
Just consistent throughout all 3 periods and play a full game, full 60 minutes.
And who are you looking for to really be your leader this year out on the court besides yourself?
I mean, Brittany Howard goes without saying, one of the best players in the nation, looking at point-wise, but also just natural ability to lead this team and motivate us to where we never would be without her.
And are you nervous at all this weekend, or are you just really excited to be home?
Yeah, I mean, nerves are always there, but first couple shots, get settled into the game, and kind of goes away, and you're just thinking about other things at that point.
What does a team do to really calm down and get in the mode for a game?
I mean, everyone has their different rituals. we have pregame warm-up together, and then everyone kind of does their own thing. But by the time the puck drops, we're all there on the same page trying to get our job done.
Is there anything that you specifically do to get a game going, to get really in your zone?
I mean, I'm pretty normal for a goalie, I like to think. But no, I just hang around with my teammates, and then closer to the game, listen to music, and get ready.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's all we have today, and we're going to go back to David and Sam on desk. Oh, to break, I'm sorry.
Want to help in the aftermath of a hurricane? Together, you and I can really help. I am fast and versatile. I can be whatever is needed. To help you provide important relief when it's most critical. If you want to lend a hand, I can help you reach out and truly touch lives. Even a small donation can make a big difference.
On November 3rd in Hopwood Auditorium, Robert Morris University, join me, Don Luisi, for Bringing the Blues to RMU. This is a live event featuring Pittsburgh's Queen of the Blues, Jill West, and Blues Attack. Along with a screening of Blues Chronicles from the Burgh, 3 short documentary profiles of Pittsburgh Blues legends Eugene Morgan, Bill Weiner, and Jill West. This tribute to the blues is sponsored by the Blues Society of Western Pennsylvania, the Academic Media Center, and RMU Radio. That's Bringing the Blues to RMU. Friday, November 3rd at 5 p.m., Hopwood Auditorium, Robert Morris University. Admission is free to the public.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center, and this past week of Colonial Sports has been great. But now it's the time of the week where we get to look forward to the games that are upcoming. So let's jump right into it.
Favorite time of the week, actually, is right here, upcoming games. So, first off, men's soccer, 2 p.m. You're going to want to tune in. You can tune in online. They're going to be live streaming that at necfrontrow.com. Men's soccer taking on the #1 seed in St. Francis, Brooklyn. And again, you have Bailey Winkle, one of the best scorers in the NCAA, and look for him to shine in this moment right here, David.
Right, you've got to give them the chance. When you've got one of the best players on the field, you've always got a chance. And also starting on Friday is men's basketball. Now they're going to be traveling to a Big Ten powerhouse of Ohio State. And Sam, you're going to be there for that game.
That's right. Me, Ian Kist, and Logan Carney, the Sports Talk and the Bird Crew, are going to be coming to you live from The Ohio State University for the first game of the season here for Robert Morris, and big game. You know, big-time opponent. We're going to see here how Robert Morris stands and where it looks for the rest of the season. And then we're heading on the road, going to Michigan State for the women's basketball opener. Exciting, and, you know, a lot of questions for that team this season. You're talking about a men's basketball team that had 11 new players, but women's basketball losing arguably one of the best players in history on Nikki Samuel-Lamper. She did so much for that program, and they're going to have to try and fill the void of her scoring, along with Rebecca Navarro and the presence of Janae Brown on the point.
Right, and those are going to be 2 great basketball games against 2 Big Ten opponents. And also on Saturday, Sam, we're going to have football taking on Bryant, coming back home.
And kind of a make-or-break feel here. If you're head coach John Banaszak, you're in the last year of your contract, you're trying to, you know, you're on a 6-game losing streak here, sitting at 2-7 after that big first win here. And a win versus Bryant would really do a lot, especially if you can get that offense going and saying, hey, bring me back another year. Let's keep this going here, because it would be an improvement on that 2-win team of last year here. They're going to finish the season against Bryant and Central Connecticut State. Bryant here, that's going to be the big one though.
Right, it is. And, you know, they've started to make some changes to the offense. They made a quarterback change last week. So if you go to the game, pay attention to not only who's in at quarterback, but wide receiver, running back. Let's see if they can try to find a way to score more points towards the end of the season, build some momentum going into next season.
And you're going to talk about playoff implications here. You also got to talk about volleyball. They're going to take on Central Connecticut and Bryant. Win both of those, you're talking about getting a potential 2 seed here. But also, let's look at the upcoming here for men's basketball and women's basketball. You're going to get that annual 10 a.m. game versus Bowling Green. All the kids are going to be not in the Sewell Center now, the rec center here. It's going to be an interesting look to the women's basketball season. Same with the men's basketball season. They're going to open up on the road at Grand Canyon, at San Diego. Going West Coast.
So I know men's basketball has got to go to Ohio State to open the season. I'm excited for this game against Grand Canyon. You know, we've got Deshaun Burke, who will play his first game of the season on Monday at 10 p.m. You're going to want to see what he's got coming this season. He's going to be one of the best players on the court in the NEC.
And men's basketball, again, 11 new players, a lot of expectations. What are they going to do this season? But you're going to have to tune in, see what's going on tomorrow. And next week, last episode of Sports Talk in the Bird for the semester. So again, thank you so much for tuning in for me and David. And please tune in next week for more Colonial Sports Center. You are not going to want to miss it.